Good morning, Facebook Live and Joslyn fans. I am Rebecca, the program director here at the Joslyn Center, and this is episode 58 of the Joslyn Variety Show. So today is Thursday, which means that we have our Take 20 with Veronica. So she is going to do a full 20-minute exercise for you. So make sure you've got your sneakers in your chair, and we're going to launch right in. Veronica, you ready to do this? Start the day off right?
I am ready.
All right, let me get her situated, and I hope you guys have a great workout.
Thank you. I forgot my, good morning. I forgot my hair tie, so I just run the risk of putting a rubber band in my hair, but that's besides the point. Okay, I'm happy to be here. I hope you're feeling good and happy to be here too. So let's get ourselves moving. We're gonna take about 20 minutes. I have one here. We're gonna take about 20 minutes. So let's just get ourselves warmed up a little bit and just focus on the idea of moving. Whatever exercise you've already had today, let's add on to it a little bit, and hopefully we'll not only be energized but relaxed at the same time. Okay, so we're just going to keep marching. Get your arms moving, get your blood flow going, and pay attention to your breath. So start to take some inventory on what's going on. You know, how does your body feel? Did you stretch this morning? I usually stretch before I get out of bed, and sometimes I don't. And sometimes nothing happens negative. Sometimes I get a little stiff and I said, oh, that's right, I forgot to stretch this morning. So always just listen to your body, and whatever you're doing in your day, if you need to stop and just loosen up and then do a little light stretching, always take the time to do that. It's really important. And by the way, one thing too is when you stretch one muscle, stretch the opposite muscle. So if you feel like you want to stretch your quadricep, for example, and you want to find a way you're stretching that muscle, always take the time to stretch the opposite. Because that stretching the opposite might actually be what eases the tightness that you're feeling in your body. Okay, so let's step side to side. Keep moving, got your arms going. Check your posture. So we want to try and have everything in as good alignment as we can. Okay, now let's stand next to your chair, or wherever you're standing next to, and just slowly alternate raising your knees. So we're walking in place, raising our knees. Raise them as high as is comfortable for you. You can start out low, go a little bit high. I don't see any reason to go higher than hip level, but you can if you want. Good. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side. Now let's do our kicks, just alternate kicking. Squeeze in our hamstrings. We're really just loosening up our muscles, kicking and kicking. You don't have to have your hand on your chair. If you're still getting warmed up, it's nice to just know that it's there. Kicking. Just a couple more. Then we're going to sit down and use our arms and continue relaxing and warming up at the same time. So relaxing, I mean really loosening up. Focus on what we're working on. So let's bring our arms up and over and down. So your arms are straight, your shoulders are down and back. And now just lift your arms up and feel like you're trying to reach out to touch the walls on either side of you. So really reach and reach. So just by lifting our arms over our heart, even though we're sitting down, if this feels good for you, if it feels like it might be a little bit much, then don't lift your arms as high. So just listen to yourself. You can lift your arms here and down, just shoulder level. Okay, let's hold our arms out and do some circles and see how heavy your arms will feel. Say, I don't have any weights. Well, you do. You can put your arms out, and trust me, in a minute or two, It's going to feel like you're holding some weights. Again, check your posture. Make sure that your neck is nice and long, your shoulders are down. I may have just changed the direction of the arms. Either way, just keep them circling. Make them bigger. As you get bigger, go slower. And what a good rotation in our shoulders we're getting now with our straight arms. And really keep those shoulders from coming up at all. See if you can just fight the urge to raise your shoulders. Just keep your shoulders down. And other direction, big circles. And you can also, remember, just do one arm at a time if you prefer. That creates a little feeling of challenge regarding gravity. You want to make sure your abdominals are squeezed in. Your feet are flat on the floor. So we're trying not to move anything except for our straight arms here. Okay, good. All right. Now, if your chair is not going to get in your way, you can stay right where you are. Otherwise, you may want to stand up or use a different chair. But we're going to stay seated for right now and do some rowing back. Row. Bring your elbows behind you. Your shoulder blades are really squeezing together, and pause. Squeeze, inhale, and then squeeze back. You've got a lot of muscle in your arms, in your back. So right now, just think about like all those muscles just squeezing behind you. Squeeze. It's really important to visualize the muscles that you're working. Visualize the growth of those muscles as you work out on your own and push yourself a little further than we push you here. Squeeze. Good. Okay, sit up nice and straight, and now we're going to push the arms forward, which is going to concentrate on these muscles here. So push forward. So think about those chest muscles. As you push your arms forward, you feel them squeezing, pause, and then inhale. Exhale. Push forward. There's a weight here, or maybe it's just really thick water. Thick water. Really just like a resistance, create a resistance, pushing through. So if you were doing water aerobics, you would really feel this, especially if you had some sort of apparatus on your hand. But right now we're just using our hands and just push through that water. Okay, so let's, in different ways, let's touch upon every muscle that we can. The muscle groups that we can in different ways. So usually we don't do biceps sitting down, but let's do that. So I've got my palms facing my body. This is a hammer curl. You would hold a hammer like this. So raise up, exhale, squeeze those bicep muscles, and then elongate, but I still have tension in my muscles. And then exhale up, squeeze. Inhale, you're elongating the muscle, and now you're squeezing, making it tight and small. Tight and compact. So when you use weight and you push yourself with those weights in a safe manner, then you cause stress in that muscles, which is a healthy stress. Kind of like break them down a little bit, and then they heal and they grow. And there's a lot involved there. You got to really have a good diet and good rest. Keep yourself hydrated. Push your muscles when you can. Now, let's try something. I'm going to scoot up on the chair. Let's see if we can do our triceps sitting down with our arms behind us. So your torso is straight. Just lean forward a little bit. Get your elbows behind you a little bit. Imagine you're grabbing some weight and straighten your arms behind you. This is your inhale, and then exhale. Squeeze. So you're squeezing those muscles in the back of the arm, your triceps. Squeeze. And up. Squeeze. So opposite the biceps. We're squeezing our triceps, and now we're stretching our triceps. And where your shoulders, the shoulders are down, squeeze and up. So by leaning your torso forward just a little bit at an angle, that gives you more room than if you're doing here. You can still do it, but this just gives you a little bit more area behind you to stretch those muscles, maybe a little more resistance to gravity. Think about those muscles back there and squeeze. Okay, now just relax. So sitting in the chair, I have my back off the chair rest. Again, don't use that unless you really feel like you need to. Support your lower back that way, but also use your abdominals to support your lower back. Okay, so let's grab onto our imaginary bar. And this bar is coming across here. Okay, so we're gonna push up, straight up, and feel the weight of it coming down. Hold that weight in that bar and push up. We are exercising the muscles in our shoulders, basically up here. It's kind of vague, but kind of general, but just think about that. If you were standing behind somebody and they were pretty well toned and you see them lifting these weights, you're going to see all these muscles in the back just really tense up. So there's a lot of work here. So try to keep your muscles nice and tense in that good way, meaning squeezed, and inhale down and push up. So the arms come up, but your shoulders stay where they are. Inhale and exhale. Now, did you do this too? I just realized what I was doing. So I'm thinking about squeezing these muscles up here, but I just caught myself. All these muscles are tight too. And I realized what I'm doing, and I think it's out of habit, whether you're standing or sitting, you're creating a strong foundation. So if you're working your upper body, your lower body is not off having a break. It's supporting you. So I feel that. Feel the muscles in your legs. They're squeezed, they're strong. Your feet are flat on the floor. Abdominals are squeezed. You're still breathing. And hopefully your back feels well supported. Your back should feel well supported, your lower back. And then let's just do one more push up, and good. Okay. So our trapezius muscles here, this is the one move where we do some shrugging. And if we were holding weights, we would just hold them down here, and the weights would likely be a little heavier than you would use for your biceps, for example, or your triceps. If you use 5 pounds or 8, let's say you use 8 pounds let's say you use 5 pounds for your biceps, well, you can pick up like a 15-pound maybe in each arm, 10 to 15, and just hold them down and use these muscles right here to lift up your arms, squeeze, and then down. And down, and really push those muscles down. So you're pulling up your arms, you're lifting all that weight, and you're going to feel this area warming up. These are the muscles that you're using. So on guys that really work their trapezius muscles, you can see that. But everybody has different body structures too. Some people are just normally built that way. But it's, again, I said before, it's really important for women to, not that we want to build that up, but it's good structure to keep those muscles toned as well. So we want to really try to hit all of our muscles today. Squeeze and down. Just a couple more down, and now let's rotate our shoulders. What I want to do is, I just noticed the time. I just want to stand up and do a couple standing exercises before we call it a day here on the show. Okay. All right, so let's stand up, and I'm going to turn the chair. So let's work our glutes and our hamstrings, and then we'll come back to the chair and do a few squats, okay? So standing at the chair, nice and tall, straight there. You're going to take one straight leg back with the heel and lift, down, lift, down. So where you're squeezing, where you're working right now, is your glutes. So when you lift that leg up, you're squeezing this area and down. And you don't have to tap your toe on the floor if you don't want to. If you don't tap your toe on the floor, then your tendency is to not let go of the squeeze. So just try not to let go of the squeeze until we change to the other leg. Squeeze. So these are great exercises you can do when you're standing around, so to speak, for any reason. Or just stand up and do them. Let's switch legs. Okay, so you're going to point with your heel going back. And your leg's not pencil straight. It's just simply straight. Squeeze back. Now let's switch to the hamstring. So we're going to do what we did earlier in our warm-up where we're kicking, but let's just keep it going on one side first. Just kick and straight, kick. Every time you kick up, you're squeezing all this muscle area here, all this muscle here. So the rest of your body's not on a break here. We're going to watch our posture, keep our torso upright, keep it still as you can, and just move that area right down there. Okay, other side. So I mentioned just a minute ago, have a really good diet, so there's lots of different interpretations of what that is, and I'm not going to prescribe anything, but I do know, absolutely sure, that try to eat your fruits and your vegetables. Especially now, a lot of people have told me that they feel like they're bored, they catch themselves eating more than they do, or maybe different types of snacky food, and it doesn't help you to sleep well. It doesn't help you to feel good when you wake up. So if you can drink a little bit more water, eat more food that's grown, you're going to be ahead of the game. You are going to always be ahead. It's going to make you feel better, and that's the most important thing, especially nowadays. So let's just do a couple rotations. Maybe forward. It's so easy to say eat well and get lots of sleep, but those are really good things to prioritize and to remind, gently remind each other too, because most of us are trying to improve them, and we don't have the secret, but we just do the best that we can. Okay, I hope you feel good, a little bit more relaxed, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Veronica. All right, guys, so it is going to be Friday tomorrow. So typically we would have Paul do meditation on Friday, but because he was our Monday meditation this week, tomorrow we are going to talk about resources, because I know it's been a little while since we've done that, and a lot of y'all are still struggling and looking for connections and places that can provide help. So we're going to do that tomorrow, so make sure that you come back for that. But you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.